Welcome to the Mindful Nuggets podcast, where faith, mindset, and transformation collide with real conversation.
We're your hosts, William and Michelle, founders of the Mindful Nuggets community, based in cultivate, and thrive in health, wealth, and well-being.
Here, your words shape your world. Your values define your path. Your faith fuels your future.
So if you're ready to break free, rebuild, and step boldly into your next chapter, you're in the right place.
All right.
Well, welcome
back.
back, everyone, to Mindful Nuggets Podcast Monday night. This is episode 44.
And climbing.
I'm climbing and climbing.
Mhm.
So yes, we are on episode 44. And tonight we're going to talk about our continued series on success. Tonight we're going to be talking about wealth. Isn't that right, Mr. William? We're going to be talking about wealth.
Well, we kind of like to have some, wouldn't we?
Right. I think so. I know so.
I think most people in their lives like security, like having money and all those things that the world likes to advertise a lot. So yeah, let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to talk about the chaos, right? Chaos for dollars. We tend to chase money. We tend to think money is the ultimate, right? We can do anything and all things with money, but we've also know that money's the root of all evil. And
Back up.
I knew I'd
Or
hit a
the love
spot.
of money. And it's the
Right.
love of any other idol, but it doesn't matter. It's famous because it's money, because everybody has a money, some sort of block or acceptance, admiration.
Very much
Ooh,
so.
it's bad. It's a money relationship. It's a wealth relationship, and all that ties to your belief system and what you taught. A lot of things that we speak about all the time in our podcast is,
Right.
it's what you believe is what becomes real.
Well, you're right, because we talk about the word and how your words, matter. So what you say matters. So if you're speaking I'm just going to say this, in ill regards to money, then that is a part of the
Taboo
wealth
topic
that,
for a lot of people. Yeah.
right. And that's what a lot of people don't understand is, oh, I'll never have the money. I'll never have, this much money. I'll never be able to do this because I don't
Or
have
I
this
can't
type of
afford
money.
it. I can't,
Can't
I
afford it.
can't.
Yeah,
Well,
right. If you can't, you can't. And if you can, you can. I say that all the time, even to my grandchildren, don't say can't, because then you can't.
yeah, what the funny thing about that is, for most of the wealthy people that did it right and have the right mindset, they don't chase money.
No,
They don't say it's wicked. They actually use it for good, and
right.
their needs are met, and they provide. Yet everybody in scarcity have a totally different viewpoint about it.
Right, they
Having
do.
too
Yeah.
much wealth is evil. This is bad, and it's
Very true.
it's a weird perspective. So actually, the scarcity worship money more than the wealthy. That's my point. I'm trying to
That's true.
cross.
That is very true. And if you go, talk to anybody, who's not extremely now here again, in my mind, wealth works in different ways. What's
Yes,
wealthy to you is different to me.
always it should be.
So
Absolutely should
wealth
be.
is on a different level for many
Well,
different people. So
it's
what
what's
you
in your
do,
heart really that really dictates a lot of that. In what's in your heart is what you speak about all the time.
yeah. Yeah.
So
My wealth could be that I'm perfectly satisfied where I am. I go volunteer my time. I
yeah,
help people here. I do things over there. Or my wealth could be, yeah, I'm sitting in a $1 million home with multiple
yeah. You
cars,
see,
all the above. But
there's a
that
lot of
doesn't,
confusion around income and wealth, and you could be making 3, 4, 5, 600,000, $1 million, even a month. But if
right.
you're living beyond your means, none of that means anything. Whereas the same
Exactly.
person might have $5,000 a month and only spend four, and they're getting ahead $1,000 each month. But to me, that's wealthy. It's going in the right direction. They're building, they're not overspending, and they're very good stewards of it. And chaos is what we live in most of the time,
Yeah.
and that is completely not a place for money to be in, because likes to leave chaos. Money likes order.
Mhm.
It likes
Yeah.
structure. It likes discipline. The emotion. The dollar doesn't matter. They really care about who holds it, but the person is the emotional part dictates where it goes, whether they are disciplined or they're not disciplined. All
Yeah.
right. So one perspective of the wealthy would be is when I hold this dollar, I pay myself first. And then when I pay myself first, I'm gonna make that dollar be my employee and go out and work for me. Because at some
Right.
point my body's not gonna work. And I want to get to a point where I'm really, really saying here is not the accumulation of money, but the real wealth is having time freedom. And money empowers that to where you can.
It does. It does.
So
So
if we
let's
start looking at the right perspective, then we get that right. But on the opposite of that, we look at what we've been taught: pay your bills first, and then what's left over you try to save. That never happens.
okay, well, we'll break that down. We're going to break all that down. Okay, so let's go back to chaos. Let's talk about the chaos first, because that's where this all starts. So
Mm-hmm.
chaos is like you're hustling, you're grinding, you're chasing of the money. So let's talk about that, because you and I've done a lot about chasing on the
I
money.
know. Pretty
We
much
both
most of
went
us
and did
chase
that.
chase it, yeah, or
Yeah,
have chased it.
we
Mhm.
have. Yeah. And that was what we've talked about this. There's a kind of like an indoctrination, if you know how that works, right? You go to
Uh-huh.
school, you get a good job, you go to college, all the
Yeah,
above, right? And so you're always
absolutely.
chasing after something, you know,
Yes, absolutely we do. And that's well, I mean, that's a belief. That's what's programmed into your mind is what you're going to believe and what you're going to act upon.
right?
And that's what you're going to speak about at the same time. And so we're looking for that next big win, the big opportunity, the big break.
Always looking for the next big thing.
Yeah, the
We
big
talked
thing. Yeah. And my luck and my fortune is going to change.
Mhm.
None of this builds wealth. It never will. All right.
Right,
I'm a perfect testament of having ambition and desire for more, not so much just to collect things, but again, having that belief of having safety with a big bank account, and then also the ability to have time.
right.
Well, that was kind of like the carrot in front of the horse. I kept going after it, but I never could get it until the point I just nearly, kill myself by
Don't we
chasing.
all?
You're
Isn't
trying to
that
get
really what
that
happens
carrot,
in
and
the
keep
end?
going. And
You
yeah,
just keep going, and then before you know it, you're
you
sick,
drop.
not well. You no longer really have a job because now you're sick and unwell from all the stress of chasing the money. And
Right.
this all goes hand in hand. So,
Yeah.
all right, so let's talk about cultivated wealth, because that was something that you and I were talking about earlier. Um, Cultivated wealth is, kingdom centered, grows from alignment, and inner peace. So let's kind of dive into that, because I think we pretty much have the definition of chaos. So now how do we get into
We deserve it every
alignment?
day. And you know what? It's like being a fish in water can't know that it's in the water until it's pulled out of the water and realizes it's out of water and needs to get back into the water
Right.
on it. And so we work in chaos like that a lot. We don't realize that we're in so much chaos, and the world teaches us and actually demands from us all our time, our energies, and into what it wants. And this is the shift from my experience, and then also studying from other leaders and other people that really have transformed their lives into having peace, money, and all that time, freedom. You can see it in their eyes, especially when they're
Right.
aligned with God. Is they decide where to start building their wealth, and they know the secret is starting within. Is not the chase
Mhm.
of on it.
And if you
So,
really dive into successful people, I'm not talking about your billionaires and things like that. I'm talking about successful people who've created, not chased, but created the wealth that they have. It all started by them realizing that they needed to get into an alignment, that they were completely in some chaotic mess, And once they found out that they could be in alignment with God and have that peace, that inner peace that we're talking about, that's when things started to grow. That's when things started to build. They read a lot, they educate themselves on many different
Yeah.
levels, and stay in the know.
Yeah, the education system gives you a way to live, but it didn't teach you how to build wealth. It
Right.
never will, never has.
That's
All right.
right.
And that's when a person becomes aware and decides either it's too much pain in their life, or just simply make a vision and a decision of whether I want more. What does it take? Well, what it takes is a daily investment, and it takes saying that I'm going to protect myself and I am going to do those things.
Yeah.
And one of the biggest things people miss out on, and I'm as guilty as any of them, is the reflection
Yeah. Yeah.
of the day.
That's the
And
big one.
so there's really a few things that are highly critical in self development, building wealth. Your wealth is you. It always has been. It always will be. Your brand is you, and
Yeah.
that's something no one can take away from you. So as we shift out of the chaos of the world dictating what it wants from you on a daily basis, i.e., we're scrolling, we're looking at our emails. That's scurry. Nowhere is that when we wake up, we go through it, our daily ritual. But one thing that's very important is, I want to visualize what it is that I want in my life. I want to see that. I want to feel it. And I
Hmm.
want to experience it, and I can do that. And a lot of the high performers will definitely be doing that, and that's why they're high performers, or they're athletes that see themselves and win. Those are those that see them on stage and speak well and communicate well because they visualize it first.
Right.
And then at the end of the day, where's the reflection? Okay, and the reason why I say that's important, if we don't reflect on the day, what did the day give us? What did the day take from us? What did we create that day? What mistakes did we make? What wins did we have? What did I learn from this day? And then apply it till tomorrow. Until that happens, guess what?
Hmm.
We're on repeat.
Exactly. And that's the same definition of insanity because,
Yeah,
we
we're on
continue to
repeat,
do
and
the
we're
same
looking
thing
for that
over and
for
over
that
again.
outcome to change. And that's what I'm saying. We always look for the Hail Marys. We look for the instant change. We look at the people who have the wealth and want it, but they don't see in the dark
Right.
what
But it,
all those reps. But all those things that we sacrifice, all those things that nobody notices, all those things that nobody applauds, nobody cares except for you. And that's what matters, because you're doing that every day. You're starting to build yourself. You're building trust in yourself. You're speaking the words. You're being in integrity and all that. So
yeah,
really, I can tell you one of the major shifts that's going to happen in anybody's life. And then maybe they get this. And the very first principle of this, I'm sure because the world teaches differently. So we got to learn how to give in the operation of giving.
that's true. True.
The world's operation is taking.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm gonna read you a couple of verses, and then we'll go on and talk about being in the dark and growing. But I just it's just it's put on me that it's like I really need to share this, because there's so many verses that that really relate to this so much. And one of them is Proverbs 11:24. One gives freely, yet grows all the richer. Another withholds what he should give and only suffer want. So I want everybody in the audience, and I'm not preaching to everybody, but I just want everybody to take this observation and look at yourself and look at others and observe. See who's giving all the time.
Hmm. Yep.
And then and here's what I think. Why don't you observe the peace or the lack of peace? The chaos, the lack of chaos, like we were talking about, the purpose or the drifting, and start realizing this is great. That's good exercise for all of us every day, just to look at these things. Which reminds me of, I believe it's Philippians 4:8. Brothers, if you see something good, something great, something healthy, something wellness, observe these things. And that's a serious verse, because that's the beginning of awareness. It's beginning to appreciate. It's a moment of pause. all that's reflection what we're talking about. And the other one, well, the blessings of the Lord bring wealth, and He has no sorrow with it. Wow, that was just powerful. Adds no sorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so there's no guilt about having what the Lord brings as wealth. I don't care if it's money, possessions, land, whatever. It doesn't matter. He's going to bring great health, whatever the wealth is that He blesses you with. There don't be people who are jealous, but the people that get blessed in the world, they have no sorrow because it was given correctly.
Was done
Uh,
out of the desire of their heart to give and not because they felt the
I didn't
need
feel like
to
they
give.
owned it, needed
Right.
it, deserved it.
Right.
It had nothing to do about that.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
because God wanted to bless them because they were in that mode of operation on it. So,
Fun.
that's very powerful. Thank you.
One of your verses too that you were talking about was Isaiah 45:3, where I will give you treasures of darkness and hidden riches of secret places, which is moving into our growth in the dark. So let's speak upon growth in the dark and what that truly means, because I know earlier you and I were talking about that, about how we are to be a giver, not a taker. And going back to your Proverbs 24, in how he gives. And then when you give, he receives, you receive as well. So when we're in this growth process, where's the first step that our audience can really take? Because we're talking about being at peace, but we can't be at peace until we recognize we're in chaos. And once we
Yeah.
recognize we're in chaos and we start moving in the right direction, what is the right direction? That's the question. That I know people are looking at us right now and going, wait a minute, what's the right direction? You keep talking about growth, you keep talking about the darkness, you keep talking about peace, you keep talking about reflection. So where do they start? Where should they start?
Well, that very first thing is I'd unplug
Unplug from what? The TV, the phone,
all the social media, everything,
right?
and I would have at least, and if just
Well, let's not
because.
say you would have, because you and I do the same pretty much in our rituals. Let's just talk about our ritual,
Well,
okay?
okay,
And
well,
anyone who's in the
let's,
Word of God
yeah.
follows this ritual.
Well, be still and know God is the very first thing. Seek the kingdom
Exactly.
and all things first, and
Right.
and all these things will be added unto you, or all these things. He keeps pointing to you to shut up, sit down, be still, and listen. I mean,
That's
I
it in a
want you.
nutshell.
I want you to pay attention to me because I have wisdom to part, and I know your heart, and I know your desires out of life. But until you can sit down and be quiet and let me talk to you for a moment, you're going to keep running around in chaos,
Mm-hmm.
and you're going to be distracted by the world's desire to take your life from you and give it to somewhere else for whatever it
Exactly.
wants to do it. So the first thing is to unplug. How do I do that? I make a decision.
Yeah.
And I make a small decision. All right. So mental equity is you need to learn how to protect it. You guard it because you only have so much during the day. And if you keep spending it on frivolous things that have no bearing to what you want in your life, then you're basically just putting quarters in the machine that's just keep chewing them up until you have no more quarters left. All right.
Very
And
true. It's
all
very
right. So
true.
you're seeking pleasure, or you're seeking randomness, or you're reacting to everybody else's response they want from you. That's gotta stop. And that's not easy to do. And because it's habitual for one, and it's what you're used to. And to change that, well, it's just like a little pruning. It's going to be difficult at first, but once you start into it, it's going to develop and grow and get deep roots into what you want. That's what I'm saying. It starts in the dark on it. So it may be just 10 minutes to be still. It may be 10 minutes to pick up a book and read 10 pages. It may be 10 minutes to listen to something, just like you teach, Michelle, to feed yourself properly. That's your body. But we got to teach ourselves to feed our minds
Right.
good stuff and teach our spirit to not to align to the flesh. Again, that aligns to pleasure, all the needs, the flesh wants to respond and react to all. It doesn't respond, it reacts
It
to it.
does.
And it's a very loud voice till you flip the switch. And then you can start reading and growing, and then you feed the spirit, and the spirit becomes stronger and it overrides the flesh. Just like the mind, garbage in, garbage out.
Okay, but let's stop for a second because I want to bring up something I know so many people are sitting here saying right now. I know they are. Well, how long do I got to do that?
It's a
This is all right. This is the
this
other side of the
yeah.
coin. Okay, how long do I have
Well,
to
okay.
do that?
I'm gonna plan it a little differently than what what you want me to say, and which is basically different. Okay, but
Be honest.
well, no, I am. But the thing is, we're doing things daily all the time.
We
So, what
are.
do you want to swap out and grow, or you want to stay put and fall behind and deteriorate, waste away in the dread? Because that's what's going to happen. Because I mean, realistically, we're groomed to go through school, get that degree, or just get out of high school, get the trade, and then what? Then we go to work. Then we get busy. We have family. We're busy. We're busy. We're busy. Rarely, and then I mean, this points to why 97% of us are stuck, and 3% has to step up out of the dread
That's
and
right.
become something that the world notices it. And that's, I mean, it's simply, there's no secret sauce to this, no special magic formula. I'm sorry to say,
Okay, I'm
it's
gonna
the
play
boring
devil's advocate here.
routine. Yeah,
I'm
it's
on the
just
other
getting
side
up
of
and
the coin
doing.
of this. So when somebody comes across our podcast, okay, and they're hearing this, I can hear many saying, "Oh, so you want me to step into a belief system and create that belief system is what you're asking." And I
Well,
don't see it that way. I see it as building a relationship
well,
and
this okay.
understanding
Well,
that.
kind of two different things. One is a habit, but the habits are formed by belief because you
Right.
believe this is your life. Okay. Right now, you're moving a habit. You're shifting a habit, which in turn will shift a belief. All right, and see that's the big thing too with when we start becoming wealth minded on it. You don't have your inner critic basically come out and say, "No, you're not. You're not
All the time.
worthy." Yeah, and they know you are not this. You're being an imposter and all these things. It's because it's in a protection mode, and it's naturally there to protect us, and there's no way getting around it. And now this ties back into the identity as well of what you believe, and this is who you are, and you're trying to become something that you're not.
Well, let's
So
remind everybody that was
that
last week's episode.
yeah,
So
that's
go
what
back.
triggers it. All
Go
right, so therefore
go
it's
get
like,
that
okay,
episode.
how do I not trigger that so much? It's about slow growth, and then
Right.
it's speaking it daily and pointing to it. And so I am a wealthy person. I am a wealthy person, and the reason why is because God made me wealthy.
Yeah.
It may not look that way right now, but I can tell you I got that way because I didn't have that original mindset the way He created. So what is the real belief? Yeah, is that something you adopted and that's now what you believe? But if He created me to live in abundance and to be blessed and to help other people grow, share that, my needs are taken care of and not my cup overfloweth. And that way I can actually help other people and be in a position to help other people, but I can't when my cup's empty. But my
Yeah.
cup's always empty because I'm living that way I believe.
So here's
So
my way of looking at it. If you've been doing the same thing over and over and it's not working and you're still stressed out and wondering when it's going to happen, maybe make that small little shift and move into a different direction like we're talking about.
exactly. It's not it's okay. It's not an overnight thing. All right,
It's
but we
not
gotta
an
have belief. We gotta
overnight
have faith.
thing.
Right? The promises in that He's given us. You got to trust that in faith.
That's right.
All right.
That's
Now, when I say the belief is there, but the faith is in action. It's practicing it daily. Faith is a muscle. It's a verb.
Yep.
It's action based on it. And so, if the word is a verb, then take action. And taking action is investing time, and that's stepping out of chaos. Say, shut up, go away. This is my time. This is my vision of what I would like to become in my life, and I'm going to become wealth founded. Health is wealth as well. Are you living
Exactly.
wealthily with your health? All those things, all these things tie into alignment, and belief and identity. You shift your
Let's talk about the
identity, you're
energy
going to shift
too.
your beliefs, you're going to shift
Right.
your outcome.
Right. I mean, let's talk about the energy that it takes, that chaos takes from you with all that energy that you're putting out in chaos. Okay. So
That's yeah,
if you,
that's a huge amount, and well, it's energy sucking, not
right,
energy giving.
right. So why not take the action of the word faith and go into an energy mode of that sense and put your
Okay.
energy toward the creation?
All right. So these are little steps that we're taking, right? These
Exactly.
small
That's what,
steps.
yeah, we're
I mean,
talking
just
about the
say,
small
all
steps.
right. So we commit to one simple thing, and then what happens is we'll try to do so many things at one time. We got to do all this. Stop all that. Just understand this is a process. God puts us in a process. Process works. It's worked for since the beginning of time
I'd
for
say the
us as
beginning of
humanity.
time.
Okay.
This
All
is
right. So
works.
we keep ignoring it, keep butting our heads up against, especially me butting the head up against it. But why not stay in what works and produces fruit? All right. And a big part of that is being the vine. He's divine. Jesus is divine, and we're branches of vine. If we're off the vine, well, we wither, and well, that's scarcity
Hmm.
because we're unplugged from the real wealth. And the real wealth is God, and God provides the wealth. It's not ours. We don't make it. We don't develop it. We get in alignment, and we get in the mode of giving and get in His ways, and then the blessings flow. That's that verse that goes back. This mystery of where it all comes from. But if you can think of a little train trying to pull like 1,000 cars behind you to create something under your own power, you're not going to get far. You're going to blow the engine.
All right.
Right? All right. But when you're powered by something that's far greater than that, that has your worldwide reach and can make things happen way beyond your imagination, which way do you want to do this?
I'll take the other way. The
Yeah. Okay.
imagination and roll with it. Let's see what kind of fun we can have.
So, the thing is, work hard, trade hours for, I want you to work hard. You got to work hard to build wealth. No, you can work less to build wealth. Again, this is something we can really teach now, and I know we're going to get into it this month and next month. Is what's the connection between how come I'm doing so much work and only getting this output here?
All right.
Okay, and that to me is trading dollars for time
Mm-hmm.
at a certain level. It could be a lawyer, $350 an hour. It could be a custodian at $20 an hour. Okay. Big gap. All right, but it's still
Trading. You're
same
still trading.
principle, same thing. You're trading time, you're trading your life for that. Okay, and if
Yeah.
you love what you're doing, that's great, and I love you for it. And if you're not loving it, well, then it's really definitely time shift, and you need to come, see Michelle and I, and we'll get you set straight. At least, point you in the right directions and give you
All right.
tools to work with. But the lawyer makes 325, but he lives in $1 million home, has no tax advantages, and lives the lifestyle. At the end of the day, well, more than likely they're in debt. Doctors is definitely the same. Okay.
Oh, doctors are definitely the
Okay.
same.
Are in debt because they have all this insurance and all this. Okay. So, I
Doctors
mean,
don't know
that
how to
looks
spend their money.
to the world, that looks prestigious. He's a doctor. He's rich. No, I don't care where you are. I don't care what you're doing. I mean, if you're not got the equation right and you're not in the right mode of operation, it's the world system. You will be broke, you'll be frustrated, and you might be making money, and you might have a horrible relationship.
Yeah.
All these things in God's world of operation of giving, there's none of that. All right. The relationship's good, the business is good, the wealth building is good, other people getting prospered by it. Everything's a win. It's a
Right.
win-win-win of four ways. And when you hit that and you really start looking at it in that lens, you start looking at the deal boxes, say, no, that's not for me. No, that's missing this. That's taking and not giving. Somebody wins, somebody loses, all those things. And you start looking at it from a different perspective, his perspective. Because
Yeah.
in scarcity, you can't glorify God. He didn't want you to be like that. Yeah.
So you're choosing to be that way.
I'm choosing to be that way. Yeah. We all get that choice. You got that choice.
Yeah. Oh, I had that choice and I was making those choices and it wasn't working, as you well know. you know?
Well, tell you what, I mean, basically what, all right, so I can go trade my hours for dollars, and a lot of us are doing that. Well, here's the secret. Again, I told this, it was a secret at the first of this.
That's
Pay
right.
yourself first. Okay, that's great. I paid myself first. I took 10%. All right. Some things can wait. We've all been programmed that credit score is super important, but sometimes there's a trade-off. Like credit score is just a way for you to keep playing the system.
I was gonna say, let's talk
Okay.
about that for a minute. So that's a way
Yeah.
to
All
keep
right.
playing the system of
Keep playing
school,
the system, and
college, get a
it
job,
okay.
401k.
Now, right, all those things come into the world system. It's funny how all
Exactly.
those are tied together in such a way. But when you step out of that model that keeps you plowing the
Mm-hmm.
fields continuously without any fruit or crop from that, and you start saying, "Well, I'm gonna pay this bill. Well, I'm gonna be possibly delayed on something that might impact my credit score." But there's other mechanisms I could put that money into right now. I'm not saying not make your house payment
I was gonna say,
or
we're not saying not pay
all
your
these
bill,
things.
just so you
Okay,
know that.
what I'm saying is certain things can wait just a
There
minute.
are certain ways that you can, what I like to look at it as, there's certain ways that I can manipulate the dollar in order to still make my bills,
Yeah,
and I can
we'll
create.
teach that in cash flow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Basically, that's where it's at. How do you manage your cash flow? Well, people don't understand cash flow. They think in subscriptions
Yeah.
and then how much I can afford that month. They don't think of it the right way.
Yeah.
So it's very, again, to create wealth, it starts with inside. It always has and always will. And then your mind shifts, changes. When your mind shift happens and your belief system starts aligning to God's way, well, things are start happening that are unexplainable. I mean, they
That's
just
true.
happen. Your money starts to show, it starts growing because here's what's going to happen. You're going to be a good steward of your money. You don't respect the money, like I was
All right.
mentioning before. Do you respect it, or is it something that you can just use and waste? All right.
Mhm.
Money don't care, but if you don't respect it, I can guarantee it walks off. Fooling his money always soon party. That
Yeah.
I've been
That's
a
an
fool
old
for
one,
such a long
just letting
time.
y'all know.
Yeah,
So
and
let's just give some examples. I mean, not that, anyone needs proof that being, in, our father and him being the, just like our, our parents here on earth, he is our father, in heaven, and he is watching over us every single day. He's guiding us, he's talking to us, he's directing us. Whether we listen or not's a different story. But here's the thing: when I made a decision that my business was not growing and the same thing I was doing was not working, and I kept hearing it over and over and over and over, you need to be here. You need to be here. Again, he speaks. Whether you listen is a different story. But when I started getting into an alignment, when I understood what that alignment meant over the past year in my commitment that I have made to him, he has shown up in so many different ways. When there is a bill that's coming due, and I'm thinking I'm not sure how it's going to be paid, all of a sudden it's taken care of. You know
it's
what I
also,
mean?
yeah, all of a sudden it just shows
It
up.
just showed up, and here it was, and I'm sitting here. In the beginning, I was worried, and I was just saying this the other night to myself as I was out running an errand. I got to thinking, you know what? I'm not worried as much anymore. And I know he was speaking at that point, like, hey, here's your reality. Remember when you were sitting over here and you were constantly concerned? Do you see how I've changed things for you? So that
Yeah,
was
that's good.
quite an aha for me Saturday, whenever I was out running errands, and I was like, wow, I don't feel so stressed as much anymore. I feel really light, things are different.
That's the piece. That's his piece coming in,
Exactly.
and that is a big aha moment when you realize that our utter need to control something is usually our chaos
Yeah.
that's inside, and
Yeah.
we fear. That's fear. But when we trust in Him, knowing that He is providing our needs, then those don't look like catastrophes, and we start making better decisions about our money from
That's
that,
right.
because we're not in that panic mode. We're in a mode of observation and discernment and opportunity, all those things. So really, I know we're gonna have to close this up, but
Yeah.
here's a couple of things. There are two ways to wealth: trading your time for money with no insight, give your life away, and no plan, and hope
And
that
that's
your
okay.
401.
If
Yeah, yeah,
that's what
we're not bashing anything,
we're no, we're
but
just
what
saying
I'm
that
saying,
that's
this is the way most of us operate. We have a hope that we're gonna have enough money at retirement that we can
right.
retire.
We need people like that in this world because that's how this world continues
Yeah,
to grow.
there's nothing, and I hope you do retire, but don't rely on that. That's what we're
Right.
saying.
Right. That's what we're
Have
saying.
something else that you're building that's really don't create you wealth on it. And because as soon as the cash flow goes away, i.e. your job, so does the investment. And therefore it reverses, and then you're pulling money out to survive.
Right.
All right. And that's happened more often here recently than it has ever before, because everything's in upheaval.
Right.
Yeah. And so reacting instead of creating, that's another thing. So when you start paying yourself first, now you're in creation mode, because you're already strategically looking how to get that dollar to work and make more and recruit more. All right. Instead of just into panic, having to outreact to, oh my gosh, I got to pay this. Letting dollars slip away through emotional or reckless expense. Because a lot of us buy emotionally. We all buy emotionally. But when you buy something, have you ever asked yourself, is this helping me get to where I want to be,
Right.
before you make that purchase? Or you just buy it because it feels good? You need
Right. Because it just
that
feels good to do
immediate,
it.
this makes me feel good. And there's a lot of that.
Immediate
And it's,
gratification.
right, it is, because maybe your life is such chaos, you
Yep.
need that moment of relief. Well, flip the script a little bit, because when you do that, now you're taking a discipline route, and not in a bad way, the word being in a bad way, but you feel good about yourself, because now you're in charge of what's going on, and chaos isn't driving your train. And that's the same thing about creating busyness and hoping for a blessing or being a blessing. That
Right.
has nothing to do with it. When God wants to bless you, He's going to bless you. Right? But we make a lot of work, a lot of noise, no results.
Yeah.
That's busyness. And are you
Yep.
doing anything that is really moving the needle or not? I mean, that's a look in the mirror and do a gut check, self gut check, and say, did I really take this time and invest it wisely, or did I just did it because I want to do that? It made me feel better.
I wish I knew who this person was on TikTok that I came across. I don't remember her name, so I unfortunately I'm not able to give you that. But she made me think about what we've created here. And I know you're going to be like, how does this relate? But let me explain. Her husband, of course, is on layoff, right? Due to the government shutdown. And she put it in her agenda that $5,000 was what she needed to help keep them alive during this time frame. So she broke it down per day what she needed. And then she went to God. She talks about it. She went to God and she said, "Here's what I'm committed to doing." She speaks upon it on her TikTok. "Here's what I'm committed to doing. And here's also what I'm committed to doing," in the sense of, here's what I'm committed for you, Lord, and here's what I'm committed to take action steps. And she devised every action step to make that money every single day. And then she tracks it and she shows everyone. She's showing her commitment to him and she's showing her commitment to the action
Well,
steps.
God loves that,
Hmm.
because He knows the heart from the get go, and He's committing. And that goes back to Jeremiah 29:11. Yeah, I'm not here to hurt you in any way. I'm here to prosper you. And
Exactly.
God's a covenant making God,
Hmm.
contract. So when you make a deal with God, He's not going to let you down. But you got to do
And
your
she
part.
has been very open about it. So I actually had to comment on it. I had to tell her how proud I was of her for making that commitment and how I hope she continues to show her
Oh,
children.
you'll have to share
I,
that with me. I don't know this one, but I'd love
yeah.
to also comment. But here's the other way, the alignment way. Time is leverage. Be time intimate, time leveraged in everything
Mhm.
that you think of. Through systems, automatic systems, make easy things for you that you don't. You have motivation, you have discipline. There's days that emotionally you don't feel like doing it. All right.
Right.
Everybody
Oh,
has
there's
their up and
many
downs.
days.
But create systems that support you. I mean,
Right.
have $10 taken out per paycheck. Gone out of your sight building. Have it transferred into an investment of some sort or life insurance policy that's designed to be your own bank on it. We'll talk about that
I
in
say
another
we've
time.
got those episodes coming up too
You'll
in the
need to
Nugget
come into
Lounge.
the Nugget Lounge to have that
Mhm.
conversation, and we will be teaching some classes on it.
Yep.
So, and then assign a purpose to each dollar. Make a
And
make a
there's a
budget. Don't
reason
make
for
it
that.
complicated. Yeah,
Yeah, there's a
don't
reason why you should assign that purpose for each dollar because it gives you even a clearer action step that you would take
absolutely.
to make that occur and happen. So that's important. Again, come to the Nugget Lounge on Tuesdays, drop in there and be, in there to hear these because we have set up several major individuals in this world right now who are speaking upon that, and you definitely want to be a part of it. If you're looking to take that next step in life, you're realizing that things, just aren't where you want them to be. Maybe you've been living in chaos after listening to this and hearing what we've said. Come into the Nugget Lounge and have those conversations with us.
Get to
Let
know
us
us, and we want to get to know you as well.
absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely.
trust is something that we build, and if we trust in God, well, it's a good place to start trusting us because we're trusting the big guy that really matters
That's true.
and our decisions. It's not just us, and it's not us. I mean, we don't we we work hard trying
Yes,
not to lean on our own understanding. First, again, as we mentioned, we always seek the kingdom of God before anything. That's a ritual because you're going to get answers that are going to set you on the right path. And if I lean on my own understanding, I will get the travesty of my life that happened before. And I prefer not to relive that again. I'm actually on the right track and really enjoying the life that I have the second go around as he blessed me with. So, when we assign that, go back and assign things like that, now we've got measurability and accountability that can come
right.
in on it. And we can actually see how it works. And when we start being a part of the accountability system, did I do this or didn't do this? It's not to make you feel bad or feel small. It's like what happened and how can I improve?
Right,
And
exactly.
I missed that. Well, okay, I missed that. So
Own
let's
it.
regroup.
Like
Yeah,
we
and
say, just own it. Just
just
own
own
it.
in and say, okay, I blew it, but me dust myself off and let's pick it back up. Do it. Michelle and I do it all the time
Yeah.
on it, and
And
it's a
that's
great
what our community is
practice.
all about, right? The support. You come
Yeah.
in, you have that support. We talk about it. Three heads are better than one.
Okay. But that's right. I mean, it always is. And two things being having a mentor
Mm-hmm.
to help you get where you want to go, and the community that's it's going, cheer for you, be a part, contribute. All those things. That's what we created for you. And we want it to be a place you could call home that you like to come and join in and talk.
Absolutely.
And we'd like to hear from you as well, because when you create something like that, it creates opportunities. And we have no idea where all this is going to go next year or two. But what we do know is
I didn't know it was going to go this far.
no, I mean, everything's possible all the
But
time.
we have been an action step. So we have
All right. Well, it's
taken
because
each
it's the way
step.
you build.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So when you start measuring, you see that you get excited about you're starting to see something. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going back from that seed in the dark. There's that energy that ignites in the seed. It's almost like a egg in the womb. When it is impregnated, there's a burst of energy. That's life.
That's right.
And so you're planting yourself in that ground in this burst of energy. You may not notice what that burst of energy is, but that's the beginning of everything. That's the nuclei of life that's going to shift at some point in time. And so when we do that, and we're doing it over and over again, we get to measure our growth, and we get to see it when we're looking back. Write a little journal block. You don't have to even put big things or write 3 or 4 pages, but write something about yourself. How you write a win down, write how you felt, and how you responded or reacted. Simple things that you can judge your growth, because when you'll see those similar situations come back in your life again, and I bet you'll start seeing I guarantee you'll respond a lot differently after about 6 months than you did the first time. because more than likely
For
that's a
sure.
reaction. This is
For
the
sure.
response. Okay. So when we get to measure, we get to watch the prosperity multiply. And guess what? Go back to that verse. What was that verse? That
Which
the
one?
wealth is
Isaiah?
built and there's no sorrow in it. There's no sorrow in it.
Oh,
When it multiplies and it's right. So this is where showing money is not evil, because a lot of people believe that. And the love of money is idolatry. But when it's planted right and it grows right and it's respected right and understand what it's used for, and it's in a giving world,
then
well,
it's in
guess what?
abundance.
There is absolutely no sorrow.
That's right. That's right.
And that's where you get your time, get your peace. You help other people. You see people grow. And this is what we're all about. And we want you to be a part of that. And we want you to plant, grow roots with us, if it is for you. If not, I hope you find a community that you align with, but on the same track that is rooted in God's principles. Because
Absolutely.
that's the key.
That
You
is the
start,
key.
yeah,
Absolutely.
that's the key. Okay.
Yep, that's the key. All right. So before I tell you that was your nugget for today, on the Nugget Lounge next Tuesday, Mr. William, aren't you going to do a whole entire thing on wealth?
Yes, actually, we're going to start with the mindset of wealth is what we're going to go into, and then after that, we've had multiple people coming in be talking about different facets about building wealth, protecting wealth,
Yeah,
managing wealth, all those things, because every component is important. To build wealth is to start inside, but you also understand that there are going to be operators that wants to take wealth, and there's going to be challenges that take it. There's going to be pitfalls you don't know about. And I want to bring in those people that can help navigate it. And really, that's way we should always operate is we find our lane that we work in, well, that we can teach, grow, build,
that's
and all
right.
those things share. But the biggest thing here is the collaborations.
That's our big thing. Yes, the
The biggest thing is
partnerships
our
and the
collaborations that
collaborations.
we bring in. And because of that, we work together. Everybody prospers from it. And it's unending. There's no ceiling cap to it. And when all that happens, it's enough for everybody, more than you could ever
Here's what
need.
I love about what we've created is that you never know
No,
who
you don't.
you align with.
No.
William and I came into this completely not knowing each other, getting to know each other over a 90-day period of time and finding out just how much we really aligned. And then look what we've created today, guys. We've got our podcast, we've got the Nugget Lounge, we've got our 90-day devotional every Thursday night.
We got to say a journey coming up.
And we've got the Seja journey coming up, our Arizona retreat for anyone, everyone, come and fill out the application to be a part of our retreat that we've got coming up in the 7 vortexes of Arizona. I
Oh, that
promise you, this
reminds me.
wellness retreat
Thank
is
you for saying that.
awesome.
We need to add that link in on our social post.
Oh, I will do that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that,
Yep, we
because
do. We need to put
we
that
got,
in there.
well, see, that's another thing that only happened a few months ago. That was, it's just a thought.
It
But
was
see,
just this.
it was alignment, it was a thought, and we believed it could be, and then
And
we
so
put the
we've made
effort,
it
put the work
happen.
in,
Yeah.
and well, guess what? We're looking to share this holistic journey with 20 people.
Yeah.
It's an opportunity to heal holistically, learn a
Learn
lot from wisdom and from all these facilitators that are coming,
and see who
and a
you
way
align
to
with.
create a new community
Yeah. Oh, yes. This is going to
from
create
this. Yeah.
another great, huge community. I cannot wait for this. This has been one of the things I'm excited for this
Yeah.
journey. So,
So again, it's one of those things, all things possible, and it comes from people. It comes from the mindset, and it comes from the resources of people that God puts you together with
that's right.
on it. So that's real wealth. When you're in a mode of creation and you get to see all these things possible, you see them coming true, you see things that you never expected to happen. You're in the right vein of life. You're in the vine.
Absolutely.
And if you
Absolutely. I
reside in the
love it.
vine, then
You're
you're
in the
within
vine.
him.
I like that. That's
Yeah.
perfect.
So you're
All
in with
right,
him, then
guys.
you're in true wealth.
Well, we hope you enjoyed this series on success. We will be moving into our wealth series over the next few weeks. So we'll close out the year in our wealth series. So we're excited to have you continue to be here with us in our podcast. Please make sure you're going, liking, and subscribing here at YouTube.
Ding, ding,
We're also on
ding, please.
Spotify. Yeah, and
Mhm.
give us your feedback. We would love to see you in our community chatting, giving us your feedback. We improve as you tell us how you like it, what you
Yeah.
don't like, what you do like,
Or what you want to hear, but
or
what would
yeah,
you like to
what would you
hear?
like to hear more
Yeah.
about?
Just
Yeah,
remember, we operate in health, wealth, and well-being. Those are buckets we operate. So leave a
yeah,
comment, and if we
yeah.
get enough comments, then we'll make an episode on
Oh, I'd love
it.
that. I
Yeah.
would love that opportunity. So,
So,
again, what can we create from that? All right, everyone. That was your nugget for today. Thank you for joining us here at the Mindful Nuggets podcast, and we will see you next Monday night. Have a great night, everyone.
amen.